This is a video dedicated exclusively to nightclubs and why, in my opinion, all men should avoid them. I am confident you will agree with me after a minute or two. I haven't been to a nightclub in 5 years because they play ridiculous music. You have to wait in a long line outside a nightclub, and most of the time the club is empty when you get there. The intention of the promoters and owners is to create the illusion of scarcity and the impression that the club is packed with happy people. When there are thousands of people in the club waiting to get in, you're going to think this way, which is why these lines exist in the first place, to create the illusion of artificial sparsity. The majority of these establishments will have stories about hot girls inside and long lines to get in. People spend their entire weekends looking for action only to discover that the club inside is simply too large. The next time you see a woman in high heels lined up outside of a club, keep in mind that she will be more needy inside, whether she wants a free drink or to pay for her food bill. But isn't this ironic? Women are using high heels to hijack our brains, despite the fact that they are a symbol of oppressive patriarchy. How can they be called oppressive when they clearly favor women? Because women are aware of their power over men, they amass an entire collection of high heels and similar shoes. Buying these shoes over and over isn't just a waste of money. I believe it's more about power and status when it comes to clubbing. Wearing heels also makes women appear vulnerable outside of the club, which makes bouncers more likely to let them in. Similarly, the men are more likely to let them in and buy them a drink to warm them up, if she says she's cold or something. 80 of the men in the room will rush up to her and offer her their coats and a drink. Men are being seduced by women even before they enter the club. Once she's in there, she'll play on his sympathy. I started going to the gym fairly early and was always there staring at the girls, but I was full. Back then, there were all kinds of girls there, and while some were riding the carousel, the majority were naive and young. I could have played the game much better if I hadn't chosen to start dating in my early 20s. The club lost its allure for me because the girls expected you to buy their drinks. And if you didn't, the older guys would, and you'd be alone. I was no longer able to socialize with teenagers. All women want in this environment is to use you as a woman's ticket to a good time on her way home. And this is all acceptable behavior. Women are puking everywhere at 2 a.m., and cab drivers are terrified of picking up these drunk women. Cab drivers are poor men trying to make ends meet. The weekend is when they can afford to make the most money, but they avoid all the women because they don't want someone puking in the back seat. Everyone else appears to be getting the short end of the stick, except the woman associated with the nightclub, who appears to be riding on everyone's goodwill and sympathy like a princess. Bouncers are another issue for clubgoers. Many women make friends with bouncers and treat them as white knights. Some even date them to gain free entry to the club. Women entering the club manipulate bouncers to get in faster. They have their own set of tricks for getting in faster and getting shortcuts. You'll notice that the men who take her out almost never buy her drinks. If you approach a woman and want to strike up a conversation, you should only buy her a drink. If she approaches you and asks for a drink, she's probably just looking for a freebie from you. She will drink it and then depart. They claim that all men want is physical contact and intimate relationships. But when we buy them a drink, she forgets to mention that she also buys drinks using the same social cues. She'll sweet-talk him, put her hand on his shoulder, and the guy will think she's interested in him. She'll finish her drink and leave him hanging. If he complains, she portrays him as the villain. I remember a fun competition and a wet shirt contest at a Florida nightclub. So these are a lot more fun if you choose your clubs wisely. Clubs can be a lot of fun when you're young, but you shouldn't go looking for a girlfriend there. Do you believe this is the type of woman you should date if she frequents clubs and receives free drinks and favors from bouncers? Do you believe they will take advantage of you if you do this? Many of my friends had bad relationships with girls they met in clubs. If you want to become famous and make money with girls, don't even think about becoming a club promoter or starting your own club. It's not worth it. Most club promoters will lose their entire investment. Clubs are not like casinos, where the house always wins. Instead, in clubs, women always win. Don't forget to hit the like button to help spread the word about this video. Thank you for taking your daily dose of red pills. And remember that a red pill a day keeps bad poker hands away. So have a good rest of your day and cheers.